So Mount Gambier High School is on an interesting journey around entrepreneurial mindsets and entrepreneurial education.
I woke up in the world I wanted.
We probably see entrepreneurialism as an early thought around business entrepreneurship and starting new ventures. What is abundantly clear to us though is that the thinking that happens before that is incredibly important. So our brief and our passion is around building entrepreneurial mindsets. We're not about building business-minded people. If that comes out of that, that is absolutely fantastic and our community benefits. We're about building creative, confident young learners who can unpack a problem and have the confidence to be able to solve it.
The entrepreneurial learning strategy for us at Mount Gambier High School really just looks like the young people coming to school, no longer just sitting in a classroom and being taught to, but rather actually taking their purpose in life, their passions, and allowing that to drive their learning.
So when entrepreneurial learning happens in a classroom, it requires the teacher to step back from being a content deliverer and become more of a facilitator of learning. So to achieve that, they need to work with their students to co-design the learning tasks.
While we provided them a framework for their learning, which was around the entrepreneurial capabilities, they pushed in the direction that they were interested in, which meant that they were passionate about it, they were more engaged in their learning and a lot more creative in the things that they came up with in the end.
Entrepreneurial learning is definitely very different from normal classes.
It's taught us many skills such as team building, innovation and thinking outside of the box, leadership skills, budgeting skills for the future, and it will help for our careers if we want to take that path.
Because it's not the same as other classrooms, it's
more hands-on.
It's also a good way to get kids out of their comfort zone and coming out with what they kind of want to achieve and getting their ideas out in the open.
So last year, during the vet course in Italian, we worked with lots of people outside the school. It felt freeing in a way that you could come up with your own idea and someone would actually listen to you, especially as a Year 10 student. You haven't really had that before, and you come out and you've got these people listening to your ideas that would actually want to pursue it, so that was pretty cool.
Experiences with normal school before the entrepreneurial project started was just terrible. I was skipping classes a lot, as a lot of people at the school know. I was getting into a lot of trouble with the vice principal. Wasn't really doing my work as much. My grades were terrible. But when I started this about a year ago, it seemed to motivate me to doing my schoolwork a bit more. Started getting my grades up.
I would recommend it, but it's definitely not for everyone. You have to put in the work. I worked with a lot of new people that I didn't necessarily know, but now they're some of my closest friends, which I think is the fun part of all these different tasks. And this has definitely changed my idea of like what I want to do when I'm older.
I woke up in the world I wanted.
Mount Gambier High School is in a really privileged position. It's a daunting task to see how our school breaks a lot of those traditions and a lot of those standard expectations in our community. We want to position ourselves as a leader in entrepreneurial learning so that we can have an impact for our primary schools and for our affiliation of secondary schools all across the Limestone Coast.
The entrepreneurial learning strategy for us really just means that we're putting the young people of our school at the centre of everything we do. Their voice, their choice and their purpose needs to be at the core of what our business is as a high school.
Through these experiences, they are able to understand how they can add value to the world.
A business want to have students that walk into their workforce who are creative, who are confident, who are problem solvers, who are team players. I want Mount Gambier High School to be known when a student leaves this school, they're the capabilities that they've got to support an emerging business and an emerging workforce for our community.
I woke up in the world I wanted.